Hi everybody. Before we get into today's content, full disclosure, I want to let y'all know that the videos may be a tad bit out of order. We ran into some technical difficulties on our first part of our journey to Junction, Texas from San Antonio, Texas. Didn't capture that content. What you will be seeing is our arrival at the Junction Supercharger. I went over some efficiency numbers there as far as our first part of the trip. You'll see that. I also want to let y'all know that you'll be seeing three main topics reviewed in this video. The first topic that we discussed in general was the full self-driving. Wanted to take a challenge to see whether or not we would get any interventions on our trip to Junction and from Junction back to San Antonio. I definitely am happy to report that our first part of the trip to Junction saw us with no interventions whatsoever. Our return trip actually had two interventions. First intervention that happened was directly that you'll see coming out of the parking lot, barbecue place that we visited there. It's just the layout of that parking lot had a bit of gravel on there, and it recognized full self-driving, recognized a sidewalk has an exit, had to take over. If not, I would have gone over that sidewalk. Might have had some damage done to my undercarriage here. So I wanted to avoid that. That was the first intervention. Second intervention happened, my doing. I was distracted. I was on my cell phone attempting to view something there. And for those of you who have full self-driving, who have attempted to use your cell phone, it'll quickly prompt you, and even quicker will actually strike you out and ask you to take over. So again, I definitely don't condone driving and texting while driving. Even on full self-driving, this system is pretty good, pretty vigilant, maybe a little too vigilant for my liking, and it quickly prompts you and asks you to, take over the wheel. So had to stop off for a little bit. So total of two interventions, round trip. That was the first main topic. The second main topic was going over newest software release. Was waiting for this one for quite a while. Felt like a little over a month that I waited for. Maybe not, maybe almost a month that I waited for. Version 12, 2025.14.3.1 is the software copy that I ended up getting just yesterday. We gave a rundown of all of the release notes and chimed in on, viability, my personal use, what I would be using, what I wouldn't be using, and just, general things about the release notes. And that was the second main topic. The third topic was going over efficiency, seeing what kind of efficiency numbers we would get on our trip there and our trip back, totals, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and report the overall numbers. Didn't get an opportunity to do so after I got back. But on our first leg of our journey, had 112.3 miles, and I had 326 watts per mile, with efficiency numbers not so hot, 3.06 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, as you can see here on the screen, on our return trip from Junction to San Antonio, 128 miles, 33.7 kilowatts, and 263 watts per mile. That translates to better efficiency than our first part, the first part of our trip. 3.80 miles per kilowatt hour. Was trying to shoot for 4 miles per kilowatt hour, but didn't quite get that. But still, overall, all things considered, pretty happy with those numbers. As far as overall totals, 240.3 miles traveled, 295 watts per mile, with a grand total of 3.38 miles per kilowatt hour. Again, those numbers could have been better, but we had elevation working against us. Definitely did take a toll in the first part of the trip, but all in all, happy to report that we did well. Had a great time with my niece, who was a special guest. But again, just wanted to give a little bit of disclosure as far as the videos, the content that you'll be seeing, while giving you in reverse order at the beginning of this video the overall stats and just a bit of a heads up. So thanks again for watching. I'll go ahead and let y'all get into the main content on our trip from San Antonio to Junction and back. Hope everybody enjoys. We just plugged in, and it actually tells us that we already have enough charge to continue the trip, but I'm guessing here that it is telling us that because we are heading to a barbecue place that is relatively close by. I'm gonna go ahead and end the trip. Go ahead and navigate to home. It's about 91 miles away. There we go. We have a charge limit set at 80%. We're gonna probably charge for about 5 to 10 minutes. Head off to eat. Right now pulling 74 kilowatts. Not the greatest charging speed, but we'll go ahead and take it. We'll only stay here for a little bit. At the restaurant, I'll go ahead and calculate how much time it'll actually take if there's any sort of need for an additional charging session. But there we go. Just providing a few numbers, a little bit of an update here. Let me get out of the car so y'all can see other vehicles here. Oh. Including my tint job. But there's the old Model Y right there. I ended up getting a 20% tint on this vehicle all the way around. Legal limit here in Texas is 25, so I figured, you know what, 20% isn't too much of a stretch, but that's what it looks like. Here is the vehicle post tint. Looks beautiful. Apologies for that big rig, the loud engine going by. We have a Cybertruck here, and I guess it's locking the doors there. We have a couple of other people. I should have skipped the stall, but it just didn't happen to play out that way. But here we are in beautiful Junction, Texas, by the Chevron, I believe. Some nice amenities. There's also like a barbecue joint the other side. Last time me and my wife came over here, we didn't think too highly of that. The barbecue sauce is the only problem with that. Didn't particularly like the barbecue sauce. We're going to a different barbecue place today. We ended up at a different barbecue place whenever we ended up coming back from Colorado, and bringing my niece over here. But yep, here we are. Just wanted to give you a quick update of our arrival, and you'll see this just a little bit out of order, but we'll catch up with the info on the trip back home. All right. All right. So welcome to Muses and Notes. This is take two of an epic fail. Your boy, in typical nerd fashion, ended up not hitting the record button when he should have. I wasted a good 30 to 40 minutes of his life and his niece's life and talking about a whole lot of nothing to nobody but ourselves. So this is going to be take two. And as I previously mention, which you have no earthly clue that I did. For introduction purposes, I have with me my niece. Could you please state your name loud and proudly?
Victoria Martinez. I'm 24 years old.
All right. Welcome to Muses and Notes, your first appearance. All right, so on our trip, we're going to be heading back from Luling, Texas to San Antonio, Texas. We are at 188 miles, 63%. We have a arrival percentage of 28% to drop off my niece. The trip intention was to hit the road on full self-driving and see how many interventions we could do without, from home all the way over here to Lum's Barbecue, which was pretty delicious. What did you think about the barbecue?
It was 10 out of 10.
What did you end up getting?
The chopped barbecue sandwich with a side of macaroni and cheese. It was really creamy and good.
Alrighty. Macaroni was on point.
Yep.
It was awesome. Fantastic. A culinary delight, if I say so myself. But we're going to be heading from Lum's to San Antonio, Texas. The previous trip had how many interventions?
0.
0 interventions, and that was a good hour and 49, hour and 50 minutes. We have all of the trips data later on in the video, all typically out of order. But that's how we do things around here at Muses and Notes. 100% noobs, not knowing what the heck I'm doing, but it's just one rando guy putting on rando videos for you. Trip back, an hour and 46 minutes. Let's see how many interventions. We'll go ahead and engage full self-driving. It says here tap brake to confirm, release pedal to confirm, and away we go. Hopefully we won't have oh yeah, that is the first intervention. That is the first intervention here. It did not see the fact that that is a sidewalk, if I'm not mistaken, right, Victoria?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's go ahead and try this again. That is one. How many interventions are we at now? One intervention, and the trip hasn't even elapsed 5 minutes. Gonna make it 2 interventions with us heading directly into the front end of that SUV. And we are off. Air conditioning at 67 on my side. On her side, it's at 70 degrees. We are on standard mode. Again, if I definitely sound annoyed, it's because I am, because I'm going to repeat myself and everything that we covered, including the latest rundown of firmware update. As I mentioned, I'm going to stop referencing mentioned before. I was giddy like a schoolgirl, and getting the new full self-driving, or new firmware update, I should say. But we'll review that in a minute. Again, how many interventions we can do without on our trip. Also, efficiency. What's that, Victoria?
Their car.
Oh my God, that is a bad omen right there. That is probably our third vehicle, third vehicle that we've seen that has some pretty major damage. That one on its back fender at the restaurant, at the barbecue joint. There was an SUV with some pretty major front end damage. I really hope that they didn't incur that damage while coming over here. Yeah, bad omens, y'all. And we're away. We're going to see how efficient we are. Our first trip, as you can see, well, actually it says since last charge, so I think we were at 300, a little over 300 watts per mile. Wasn't efficient whatsoever. I think we were climbing uphill, this hill country here. Hopefully we'll start going the opposite direction and actually be able to gain some energy, some regen braking to help our efficiency. And we have behind us a very fast Kia. Is it a Kia Sophia? That's 10 years. Is it what is it? It's a Kia K5. Those things are a sight to behold. The pure power in that K5 was riding my coattail here, trying to get me to move out of the way because I was too slow for that K5. It's pure raw power. Oh man, more power to that guy or gal, whomever's driving there. Anyway, back to it. We're looking at efficiency. Hopefully we get some decent efficiency, and going to be pulling up the firmware menu, software. Whoa, keep confusing firmware and software with my phone. Hey, look, there's that. Was he ahead of us at some point? I guess we passed him and then he passed us, right? Okay. I'm like, wait, I thought he went the opposite direction.
No.
Oh, that barbecue's making me pretty sleepy, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Ooh, need a nap. Turn up this air conditioning to 7 or 8. Just fall asleep, let the car do the driving. Inevitably, we would crash. Oh, man. But here we go. We're going to be going over the info, the release notes, and just to give everybody an overview, we're going to go ahead and decline that phone call. Some telemarketers or a scam. Somebody wanting me to donate to a Norwegian prince or king. Give them my bank account number. Not going to get me. Not today. Not ever. But here we go. We are on the latest software update, version 12, 2025.14.3.1. We're going to go into the release notes. I've been waiting for this one over a month. When it first initially got published or released, I had looked at the release notes briefly, and a lot of these features were right up my alley. Some I could definitely do without, but we'll give a full rundown. We've actually experienced or gone through a couple of them. We'll go through them in a moment, but I'm going to ask my little niece here, well, not so little, 24 years of age, right, Victoria?
Yeah.
24 years of age, young woman here.
Little in height.
Yes, little in height, small in height, most certainly. But I'm no tower of power myself. All of 5'5", 5'6". How tall are you, Victoria?
Like 5 feet, even.
Full 5 feet, no 4 feet 11 inches, 4 feet 10 inches here. If you want to speak of that kind of height, we'll talk about our sister, my sister Janie.
And Grandma.
Janie Delgado for the audience. So she's already famous in her own right. And she is Edgewood Independent School District.
Edgewood's finest.
There you go. Teacher of the Year, K through 5. K through 5. We are beyond proud of her. She has worked hard and she has achieved the pinnacle of teacherhood, or however you want to phrase that. How proud of you are you of your Aunt Janie?
Beyond proud.
Beyond proud. Could you care to elaborate to the audience?
Words cannot express how proud I
am. Oh my God, we are all proud of our amazing and wonderful family member there, Janie. I don't even know how we got into that subject, but the food was just that good, and I'm so sleepy, and I'm talking nonsense here, right, from the very word go. But here we go. We're going to go over the release notes. My God, that scared me. All right, we're picking back up. How many interventions was that, Victoria? 2 interventions. 2 interventions. What y'all did not see is the fact that we got a strikeout as I was not paying attention to the road. Such beautiful scenery, nice hill country going downhill. That efficiency is going to pick up pretty quick. But yeah, we had to stop off um, and reset everything, and I obsessively cleaned the windshield as there was a bug splatter all over the place. But as we were saying before, Victoria's going to help me and give a rundown, read the release notes here. So, Victoria, take it away.
Okay, the alternative trip plans. Multiple trip plans are now available for you to choose from, allowing you to better suit your travel needs. They offer the quickest route. They prioritize stops near open and highly rated restaurants, shops, and restrooms, and it minimizes charging stops.
So, no doubt, this is going to be a game changer. Whenever you want to take the road less traveled, we're certainly going to be using these alternate routes whenever we were coming back, driving back and going to Luling. We actually got presented with that feature about 3 different routes to get to our destination. Pick the most scenic route. For those of us that like taking the long way there, that is going to be a good feature to have. But yeah, let's go to the next one.
It avoids highways. Navigation can now avoid highways when possible, providing an alternate route that bypasses major roads.
Okay, avoid highways, kind of just piggybacking off of that. The last list of features is going to be beautiful for places that do not require major highways, interstates to be traveled on for a nice, long, lengthy scenic route, scenic trip. This one's the one to have, and also even for locations within town, right? I could see this coming in handy if you live in a population, in a very dense population, like San Antonio. A lot of people in a small area, and construction aplenty, especially on the highways. You're going to pick this one. This one's going to be your go-to. Avoid those highways. Go on other roads that do not take you on the highways to hopefully get you to your destination in a shorter amount of time. Whatever can possibly help Waze style to get you to your destination. Want to go on to the next one?
Dashcam update and side camera recording. Your vehicle side camera's B pillar will now be recorded to both dashcam and sentry clips. Dashcam Viewer app has also been updated with the grid view, making it easier to access and review recordings.
Okay, this one's going to be incredibly helpful. Love me my safety features. Times like today when we have a few Tesla haters out there, a few folks who think because you drive a vehicle with a certain logo emblem that they can do harm to you. Little do they know that in the vehicle is your typical middle-aged nerd and his family, his beautiful wife, and his 7-year-old child that do no harm, mean no harm to anybody that they encounter, and just for them to have something maliciously done to their vehicle, this one's going to be a really good safety feature. The B pillar cameras, 2 additional cameras that will be recorded onto Sentry mode, give incredible angles, and it's a most welcome feature. And not just for those safety features there. Whenever you get into an incident, an accident, or anything going on, right, that's going to record the videos. It's going to have 2 additional angles to help your situation out, and most certainly in those insurance claims whenever you were not at fault. It's always nice to have video proof of what indeed happened that led to that accident. Makes things a lot cleaner, a lot easier on everybody. So a huge feature, going to be used aplenty.
Save trunk height based on location. Customize the opening height of your trunk and save it as the default or for a specific location, such as your garage. Set a height, pause the trunk while it's moving using the touchscreen. Alternatively, manually adjust to your preferred height, then press and hold the trunk close button until you hear a chime.
All right, so this one could have been beneficial, especially for me 2 weeks ago. But I could see so many people that have had accidents occur in their home with the height of the back trunk lift, the lift gate being a little too high. Ended up getting into a little bit of a fender bender with my own garage door opener. We were going on a day trip to Hondo, packed in the electric scooter and its little attachment, so my 7-year-old, so Steven could ride it at the Hondo Park, and completely forgot to select that button, push that button to close the rear hatch, and left it open. Me and my wife were discussing a whole lot of nothing. We're pretty much getting into a little mini argument, disagreement of the minds about something that was of absolute no importance. I missed all of the chimes. Believe it or not, there were chimes that were going off to close the lift gate, the rear trunk, and just completely ignored them. Got distracted. Also, those visual cues on the display here were going off, but completely missed them. And as I pulled out of the garage, thunk, boom, loud thunk that we heard. And sure enough, it was the trunk hitting the garage door opener. Tried to play it cool, tried to get out, tried to make it seem as if though it didn't bother me. Got out, said, "Oh, that's just the trunk that I forgot to close." Closed it up, tail between my legs, got back in the car, and went on our way to the Hondo Park. When we arrived there, my wife was the first one to spot it. She said, "Oh my gosh, like you ended up denting the trunk, the lift gate. Oh my God, you've got some scuffs." I was just looking at it with a blank stare, horrified, deer in headlights, knowing that something had shattered my soul, had broken my heart, because I definitely do care about my vehicle here. But I did mention to her, because she asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "It's okay. It's just a car. It's just a car." But little part of me, a little bit inside of me, of my heart, just ended up dying that very moment. But when looking back on it, I mean, in reality, it's just a car. After a few days of processing, and I wasn't so bad. But nonetheless, I still have an appointment at the Tesla service center to give me an estimate on the repair cost of that scuff, of that mark there, little dent that we have. But yeah, that's going to be a great feature for a lot of families out there, for just anybody who's using this vehicle. Alrighty then, going to the next one. What was your observation there on that vehicle?
That lady driving a Tesla was on her phone. She was just like,
yeah.
okay. Adaptive headlights. High beams now adapt to reduce glare for other drivers and cyclists by detecting other road users and selectively dimming individual pixels of the headlight. Your high beams stay on more often for greater visibility at night.
Going to give you a little bit of a fact check there. The vehicle that we passed by was a Toyota Prius.
Oh,
It was a Toyota Prius, but now that's living life on the edge.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have full self-driving. I don't believe she even has automatic lane centering in that vehicle. So yeah, she was on the phone recklessly as could be.
Yeah, she wasn't even looking at the road.
Yeah, not even looking at where she was going, looking 100% at her phone.
Yeah.
Probably having a FaceTime date with her
Sancho?
yeah, a million miles away. Oh man, somebody's about to get their 90-day visa. Shortly. Somebody in Ukraine wants to get out of that horrible situation. Maybe even another country. Who knows? Anyway, the adaptive headlights feature. This is going to be a game changer. Talking about safety. Tesla just knows how to make their vehicles as safe as can be, and this is one that's gonna definitely do that. Haven't tested this out. Got the software update last night. Didn't
Didn't have the ability to go out, but maybe tonight I will. But what it does, just like the description there, incoming traffic at night, you're still going to have your brights. You're still going to have that safety on one end, and on the other end, where that vehicle is heading in the opposite lane, the opposite direction, it's going to shut off those pixels, those LED pixels, and not blind that individual that's driving in the opposite lane. That's going to be great. Oftentimes, like these LED lights on newer vehicles, they are bright. Their lights are bright beyond bright, and sometimes, and maybe it's just my vision that's going and really bad, to see some sparkles, some as in like a diamond sparkling as the lights shine in your face. But this is going to be a great feature to have. Europe and other overseas countries have already had this feature for a few years. It's nice to know that the good old US of A can get with the times and be a little progressive. Next feature, please.
Keyboard languages. Easily switch between different language input methods on your touchscreen.
All right, keyboard languages. Unless we are getting a emoticon keyboard, not going to use this one. Not going to lie. Do you know Spanish? Je parle français comme si comme ça. A little bit of French. That's the extent of it. Not going to use this. Have a difficult enough time with the English language, being able to type things out. Not going to change it up to a different language. Don't foresee any kind of situations aside from my mother coming in and throwing the white flag on typing on her cell phone, posting social media items on Facebook or wherever in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if she now has Twitter, maybe has a TikTok channel or whatever you call them nowadays. But she has more of an online social media presence than I do. Not the type of individual to like social media. But anyway, getting off topic, I don't see her using it in this vehicle, and that's a stretch. So, not going to be of any use. Let's go to the next topic.
Keep accessory power on. Use or charge devices through the low voltage outlets, USB ports, or the inductive phone charger after exiting the vehicle, as long as the battery is above 20%. When enabled, these ports remain powered even if you are not present and the vehicle is not in use. Note that this may increase the vehicle power's consumption even if no device is connected.
Okay, so this is proof that Tesla listens to their customers. This was a much talked about, much requested feature that Tesla customers wanted to have returned to their Model S's, Y's, 3's, X's. They definitely wanted to have this feature with the 7-year-old who is increasingly finding himself camping out, quote unquote, camping out in a Tesla. I could see this being used, maybe not, a lot, but I could see it every now and then by our family being used. I'll go ahead and definitely try it out just to see what the feature is. I'm not going to leave any hot plates, plugged in with boiling water or anything on the hot plate for hours on end as I'm out of the vehicle. But we'll see what kind of use it has for our family. Alrighty, next feature.
Minor updates. When viewing a charger location page, nearby restaurants, cafes, and shops within walking distance are displayed at the bottom. Media search results are now filtered by sources, providing faster and more streamlined access to content. Easily scroll through your Sirius XM favorites by tapping the steering wheel button left or right. Sign in with your Amazon Music free account, requires premium connectivity or an active Wi-Fi connection. You can now shuffle an entire Apple Music playlist that contains more than 100 songs. See what song will play next on YouTube Music playlist in the up next view of the media player. In your navigation settings, you can choose to show or hide chargers on the map that are not owned or serviced by Tesla. The new rear view camera view shows a wider field of view, improving visibility for rear cross traffic. If your hotspot is enabled, it will automatically connect to your vehicle once you start driving, so you won't have to reconnect each time. Contact photos are now displayed for incoming calls and in the vehicle's phone app. This update includes important security fixes and improvements.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start off at the end of this list and then just jump all over the place, right, and covering this. But the contact photos, I could definitely see contact photos being used. I've already had an import of the data on my phone. I'm going to go ahead and look at it real quick. You'll see emoji of my wife there. My favorites consist of two individuals in the world, as it should be, my mother and my wife, number one and number 1A and 1B there, or 1A and 1A. We can have a 1A and 1A, right? Nobody gets jealous, nobody gets their feelings hurt. But I love having that feature there, that photo. Whenever my mom calls me, to be able to see that that photo that I have of me as a 5, 6 year old, kissing her on the cheek. A lot of good memories, growing up. And then as my wife calls me, inevitably to check where I'm at, what time am I coming home, and how dare I be away from the house for such a long period of time, to have her emoji come up. That'll be a beautiful sight to behold. Now my wife isn't that obsessed with me. She's semi-obsessed with me, and God bless her for being obsessed with me, because I can be most certainly difficult. She's a good woman. She's a good wife. She's a good mom. Great wife. Great mom. But that's going to be a nice feature to have. Let me go ahead and bring back the list of the release notes so we can look at a few other items on this list. So going from the end to the opposite end of the spectrum, beginning the amenities, right? Being able to view amenities around walking distance at that charge location. That's going to be nice to have, to see exactly if you're unfamiliar with the area, if you've never been, if you're taking a long trip, long road trip, family vacation, what have you. What amenities are going to be available to you based off of that specific charging location. If you want to go ahead and demo that real quick for the viewers, Victoria.
Drive southeast on Interstate 10 East, US 87 south on 1145 miles.
Okay, so there are the features there. She selected that supercharger.
Drive south on Interstate 10 East, US 87 south.
And there we go. There's the list of different amenities around the Leon Spring, Texas supercharger. Came up a little briefly. Once you select those icons, whatever particular point of interest you select, whether it be a restaurant, if you select that restaurant, it's going to bring up the profile, business profile of that, including a couple of reviews, a few photos, the regular contact information, right? Whether it be a website, phone number, address, anything of that sort. Previously had that, but it's gonna, it's gonna be somewhat of a quick link, shortcut to those locations, and have it in a nice centralized place for y'all to go ahead and review. And when we bring back the release notes on the minor updates, could you give your perspective from a young individual standpoint on any of those that might be of interest to you, Victoria?
So Sirius XM, I wouldn't really use because I have Apple Music. So if you have Apple Music, you're not really going to go to any other music streaming platforms, because why would you waste money on multiple when you already have one?
Yeah. I'll be honest and I'll say that I don't think I have iTunes user here. I love the Apple ecosystem. My wife is a big fan of Spotify, so I know my wife won't be using that feature, at least on iTunes. Don't think it makes any kind of mention about any other music services with that ability to see their library beyond 100 songs or playlists. But I most certainly don't even crack maybe like 20 songs on my playlist. Maybe tonight I'll go ahead and start getting serious about my playlist, get a few hundred songs on my playlist now that I know that I have this feature, but don't really see too much use coming out of that for our family. But I know plenty of you, and there's full self-driving, avoiding those vehicles that are parked off to the side on the shoulder. Does a great job of noticing that. No issues so far other than user issues on my end. Other than that, let's see. I think we had talked about YouTube Music. Didn't even know it was a thing until a year ago, whenever I ended up getting a trial, little subscription. I went from a trial to a full-blown subscription for a few months, but I felt that the price point, ad-free YouTube, was a little too high for my liking. If it's not $14.99, $15.99, then I want to say it's $19.99 a month, and that just feels like a little too steep for my liking. Give me a $5.99, $4.99 monthly subscription, and you'll have a subscriber for life. Speaking of which, please hit the subscribe button. Like and subscribe this video along with other videos that I have in my library. The more subscribers, and I have so few of them right now, I have plenty of views, but the more subscribers, the more opportunities that I'll have to bring additional content. And regardless of whether I got subscribers or not, I'm going to bring you some content that you may like. But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, in my comment section, description section, you'll see my Tesla referral code. Go ahead and select that if you're interested in purchasing a Tesla of any kind. Use my referral code, please. You'll get some nice nifty discounts depending on the time that you actually place your order. Is the incentives that you'll be getting. I believe right now it may be 3 months of a full self-driving free. With that, some of you might be waiting to have a little bit better incentives. I think they had $500 to $1,000 discounts on the purchase price of a vehicle. But yeah, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and test the referral code and the description. But back to these updates. Let's see, songs, navigation. Okay, there's an option now to hide or actually view non-Tesla, non-supercharger locations, charging locations. That's going to be a really good feature to have, especially those of us who have range anxiety. That want to make sure that they're appropriately topped off, that they have a good buffer, I should say, between point A and point B, their destination. Use that feature. I'm going to use it myself as long as the charges at the alternate charging locations aren't too astronomically high. I love the price point that the superchargers have in our area here, a good like 30 cents a kilowatt hour, 32, 33, maybe 35 actually is the highest I've seen it in like the Dallas, Fort Worth, maybe Houston areas. But yeah, it's a nice little feature to have to see other charging sections, opportunities beyond the Tesla infrastructure. And let's see. Oh, okay. Rear camera views. That is most certainly a welcome feature, one that I was waiting for. Field of view. You're able to see, and I've already used it going in reverse, able to see a lot more real estate, a lot more view from the camera angles. On the safety aspect, you can't ask for more than that. Also, the positioning of the cameras, your backup camera by the lift gate, your rear camera is now, instead of at the top of the screen, it's actually at the bottom of the screen, similar to the Model Y Juniper refresh that recently came out, and our side view cameras are at the top. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a little bit of time to get used to. I tried it twice yesterday, yesterday afternoon and felt just a little bit of disorientation. I like the additional view, but just going to be taking a bit to get used to that new perspective, wide angle, and the positioning of the cameras. Whenever we took a test drive of the Model Y Juniper overnight test drive, um, didn't particularly have any issues with that, but it's just a little different in this vehicle. I feel that this one, this Legacy Model Y, has a little wider back end, rear end. Um, as I say that, I chuckle just a tad bit. But yeah, a little bit wider perspective, back end, right? So that's probably a reason why. Alrighty, so those are the new software updates, the spring update um, list. All right, and one thing that I'm looking at and getting distracted now is our efficiency. To give a quick update of where we stand from when we left. I have here Luling to home. I pray that I spelled Luling right. Nobody pay any attention to that. Nobody zoom in. But Luling to home. We've been on the road for 93.7 miles. We have a 278 watts per mile efficiency, right below the 4 kilowatt per mile mark. I think we're right at like 3.7. I don't know. Conservatively, I want to say 3.7, 3.75 maybe. Certainly better than what we had in going to Luling. And let's see, in our current drive, 27 minutes, 270. Again, I had to stop. I had to strike out. I had to intervene because I was not paying attention to what I should have. Nonetheless, we are about. Okay, it's wanting to take us to the supercharger location, and I need to pay attention here and reroute us. Good catch, Manny. We were navigating. We're about 36 minutes out from home. Now we're back on the appropriate route here. Got off the highway, but we're going to have to get back on in a moment. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video right here. Pause this video. I will actually close out the video whenever I do get home. Looks like we're going to be arriving with a 20% state of charge in 35 minutes. And after that, I have probably another 15 to 20 minutes before I get home. We'll see at what state of charge I arrive at. I most certainly want to thank my niece, Victoria, for being a super special guest on this episode of Muses and Notes. Any parting words for the audience, Victoria?
Goodbye. Subscribe, like it up, share the video, leave a comment down below what you thought.
Appreciate you, Victoria. Thank you so much for helping me out in this trip here, and hopefully the barbecue was a-okay, and you might want to come back again, maybe with your mom, maybe with some friends.
Yeah, definitely.
A nice little day trip. All right, I'm gonna sign off. End it right there. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.